Market conditions holding at mildly bearish today in this bull market, having this retracement currently really across the board. If we look at momentum still sitting back in that hold range, also the breadth indicator also stuck right there in that trending range, and sentiment towards the upper end of that scale as well. Not a whole lot of changes yesterday. We did see buy-sell ratio continuing to be weak right here, improving slightly yesterday. We were at 0.48. We popped back up to 0.58 right here, but still with bearish undertones with the red line above the green line currently, as the markets are going to be digesting some inflation data today and into next week as well. We're seeing the sentiment line here that's pulling back. 50% location is sitting right here, and that's going to be an area that we want to start to see hold up. These areas, and even the bottom end of this range right here at this point, but could potentially slip back down just a little bit. So still in that upper range of momentum as well on sentiment. That's anything above the 50% line, and so still trending confirmation towards the upside. We also have that on S&P 500 right at support. It's sitting right here. We've talked about this location, that 520. We dipped back down, attempted a touch at that, and kind of filling this gap, but also we've got some support sitting right here. So if we continue to break down this level, if we can hold up in this range and start to move back up, that's going to be constructive for at least S&P 500. But starting to have a little bit of weakness here, and there's some data coming out, I believe, in some consumer price data coming out this morning as well that may affect markets going forward today. We also have the Dow, which is really just getting clobbered here. We've had a pretty deep retracement. It's sliced through just about every short-term level and all the way back to where we were at the bottom of this counter trend. So interesting patterns happening on Dow, where it's pretty aggressive selling currently. We're also seeing a buy-sell ratio on Dow sitting right at, where did it go? Dow Jones Industrials right here at 0.21. So you see we've got a bunch moving into the sell range, a bunch stuck in that hold range, and not very many in uptrends right now. Walmart, DuPont, Apple, those are the only three Dow stocks that are currently in uptrend. So seeing some weakness there as well. Sectors, we take a quick look at sectors. We're seeing continued weakness, but we actually had one move from sell back up to the hold. So stuck right in this hold range. This is really that turning point. It could move either direction right here. So we'll see if the buy the dip mentality is still holding up in the markets relatively soon. If we're going to get a bounce, it's got to be happening here quickly. SLV, silver, pulling back a little bit. Let's look at oil also, still in that range. We talked about this, where oil just about made a pop to get a continuation here, but just couldn't quite get there. We've got some support happening all inside of this range. So we're stuck back in that range now with USO, and that one, it could find some support. It could continue to slice and go down this downtrend if that 74 range cannot hold up. And then gold, which is holding up right here, this 215 range on GLD. GLD is the ETF for gold. Let's take a quick look at some muscle stocks. We're seeing still seeing some nice stocks here. A lot of retailers right here. We've seen Gap come in here. We've seen REAL, which is also in that space and having a big move higher. We've also seen JMIA, which is a retail stock in Africa. It's just some really interesting names that are in that new buy list today. Also seeing bulk shippers coming back into play here as well. And we're seeing that with SB, which is a bulk shipper. And we're also seeing that, this is an interesting name here, which was GBX, which is a rail car refurbisher, and interesting company having to do with the rail industries and the equipment of those. GBX for consideration there as well today. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.